So half-time here at the Etihad, and well, that was a tense last 5 minutes as well. And the score currently stands: Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 0. City also down to 10 men, with Laporte being sent off there in additional time in that first half. Here in the studio, Matchday Live, is Jolien Lescott and Stephen McInerney. What a 45 minutes, and quite an uncharacteristic 45 minutes for Manchester City, I'd say, Jolien.
Slow start. Didn't see that coming. A couple of errors in there as well, which again, uncharacteristic from the two players that made the errors. And I wouldn't say lucky finish, but it wasn't clean. It didn't go in cleanly. But after that, City again, as you would expect, dominated possession without no real cutting edge, but pressure and possession was in their box rather than their half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen, you know, we could feel the frustration building throughout the game, and it kind of culminated in those last 5 minutes, which we'll come to in just a second. Where do you think City just have kind of lacked that cutting edge in the final third? What's it been for you?
I don't know. It felt at times we were potentially a little bit too patient. I don't know if that's fair or not, but it felt a little bit like we were moving the ball constantly. There was one particular moment when I was sat watching where Kyle Walker, he got the ball, intercepted it quite high up, and you could tell straight away he was looking back to find someone to pass to. And you're like, as a fan, I'm there like, just go for it a little bit more, a bit of space to run into. And it felt like a few times where Grealish and De Bruyne, that final pass just hasn't quite come off, and that obviously there's an element of luck to that, and confidence and form. But I kind of just want to see. We said before, and it felt like certain players haven't been on the ball, but it doesn't feel like anyone's been on the ball, so to speak. It's all been moved. The ball's constantly been moving, but no one's had a chance to probe yet, if that makes sense. And I want to see De Bruyne on the ball a little more in that sense. I want to see Foden with a bit of an opportunity to run at people, and it feels like it's the kind of game where the goal's going to come. It's going to come from chaos, a bit of havoc, the ball deflecting loose or something like that in the area. Maybe a couple of more pot shots from the edge of the area. I don't know. It's something like that, but it feels like someone has to force the issue a little bit. Maybe that's not right. Maybe that's oversimplification. But currently, Palace are defending so well. They've got under our skin a little bit, if we're being honest, as well. And it's very much that it feels like we're playing into the hands a little bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That first goal, where I sat actually is over in that corner. So it was actually at this end here where the studio is, Jolien. Two questions. First of all, could there have been more done in the defending to stop Zaha getting the shot? And then from where I sat, it looked like it should have been an easier save for Ederson, and it just kind of rolled under him.
I think, in hindsight, both cases, yeah. But in regards to what I think it's Diaz is letting him do, go down the left, on his left, weaker side, shoot on your weaker foot if you're going to get a shot off, which, let's not underestimate Will Zaha. He's a top quality player. He gets shots off. So he's done that. And what I think's happened with Ederson, I think he's just jumped as he struck the ball, which means then he's got to land and set and then get off, which
bobbled as well, hasn't it? It's one of those
that's the thing. I think if it's a clean
ones.
Strike, I think his timing of his jump and set would have been perfect. But the fact that it's not gone as fast as he thought means it's uneven.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So now he's jumping when it's coming at him rather than setting because the shot was quicker.
Yes.
So again, I'm not a goalkeeping expert, but he looked more fortunate than quality. But you've got to respect what they do. That is their game plan. Let's not discredit them because they have set up to do that. Whether it be the first minute, the last minute, they have set up to play deep, counter-attack with Zaha.
Yeah, and you say to do in the last minute, and again, they did it again. There was the header over the top. Diaz didn't quite win it, and then it was kind of Laporte one-on-one with Zaha, and I don't think there's any complaints, is there really, for that being a sending off? It looked like the last man, unfortunately.
I was hoping it was going to be, but I think it's right. Cancelo, Walker, a little bit too far away, unfortunately, and I don't know if it's come from an over-eagerness to try and make something happen, because obviously at that point we were building a bit of a head of steam, trying to create some chances. So I think Laporte's mistake has come from the right intention, like being on the front foot, trying to force it. And you were talking, Jolien was talking about how Zaha was a bit like that, a bit aggressive every now and then. And obviously Vinny was really good. You were pretty good at it as well, man, to be honest. Like at the whole thing. But I feel like he's made a mistake, unfortunately. Yeah. He has, and I want to put my City hand and say it probably shouldn't have been red, but I think it was. Yeah. I think unfortunately he's got it wrong.
And I think it was a case of them not realising the state of the game. It's half time, they're 1-0 up. Let's just go long, see what we can get. If they don't do that, there's no Ricard and not going in there thinking the game could potentially be over. So I just think it's just an impatience from not being in this situation. When you are 1-0 down, every player seems to think, I need to win the game, where more defensively you should be thinking, our job isn't to win this game now. It's for them forwards to win the game. We just help us
Be
not
cool,
lose.
calm.
Yeah.
Wilfried Zaha, I mean, he's obviously got the goal, but seems to have been quite the expert, almost getting under our players' skin. You know, he was there. I mean, we saw it with Laporte. Then you had Bernardo. Him and Jesus have been going toe to toe right from the first minute. You can see, obviously, it's part of the game, but kind of, you know, he knows what he's doing and he's working.
No, definitely, and he's good at it, because the more agitated you get with it, the more then he can do something to exposure. One of them ridiculous tricks that he has in his locker, and that just can wind you up.
Yeah.
And I tell you what won't help is if we start booing him, he'll buzz off that. He'll absolutely buzz off it. So it's not something I'm going to go out there and say to the fans. But
he's going to be a very happy man.
There's players that feed off that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he's one of them. So we need to be careful, especially with the being down to 10 men. There's going to be a lot more space for him to run into, and he's one of the best in the Premier League. If you give him 30, 40 metres of space to run it at any defender in the league, 1v1, he can exposure.
Yeah, and Edison as well picked up a yellow card there as well, kind of on the half-time whistle. What changes do you think you could see Pep bringing in, Stephen? I mean, do you, obviously we're going to maybe bringing in a Stones now, do you think possibly?
We're going to have to bring a defender in, aren't we? We're going to have to. I don't know. It's Pep. He could do anything. You know, he could change it. You feel we're going to have to sacrifice a forward. I don't know who that's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I'm being controversial. I wouldn't be surprised if a midfielder came off and then maybe Foden dropped into midfield or something like that. You feel like the best chance we're going to get now of scoring, creating something, is probably a little bit of magic, you know, from someone, because it's going to be so compact, isn't it? They're going to sit so deep, and I wouldn't be surprised if the flow of the game doesn't change that much.
Yeah,
I think you probably will be relatively similar. City is so good in possession anyway that they'll just sit deep and go, well, you struggle to break us down the first half. You're going to struggle now with 10 men, and maybe this is the game for someone like Riyad Mahrez, who's a little bit more bold for cutting in and shooting or something like that. Maybe Raheem with his pace.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it is a game for a winger. You know, someone who's going to just try and do something, create something out of nothing. But make no mistake, this is going to be a really, really difficult 45 minutes of football. Hopefully, we got the answer. I wouldn't be surprised. This is Man City. You know, we're very capable of doing that. But I'm a bit nervous going at the second half.
I sense that it's not a game where, like, if it finishes 3-1 Man City, it's not a real surprise, is it? But it doesn't feel like that at this moment.
Yeah.
Like, normally when it happens, you sense it before. Now it feels like we're going to really need to kind of be on it, and that's every aspect. It's not just kind of we haven't scored yet, we'll score. It's like we can concede again, so let's be careful at the end of the pitch.
It could be now. If you're Pep Guardiola now, and like this is what I would personally be saying. I'd be saying, imagine if you find a way back into this game, and if you could achieve something from this game. Imagine the momentum and the belief you'll get from that. Not that these players need that, but psychologically, this is a chance to maybe do something that no one's expecting now. And if I was a rival watching that, I'd be terrified if City came back against a good Palace side and found to turn it around with 10 men. I'm not saying that's going to happen because it's really difficult, but the power of that, maybe sell it that way, maybe try and make him do something special, you know, and the belief they will have if they get something from this game now, it'll be huge, and maybe aim towards that.
Yeah, and for me, we praised him before the game, rightly so, legend, but I'm more confident because it's a Pat Vieira Palace team and not a Roy Hodgson. I think if it was a Roy Hodgson team, you're thinking, Jesus, I don't even know if we get shot off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I still think Pat's going to say, oh no, this is our game plan. We can win the game doing this and score more goals, and it may leave spaces for us to get an opportunity.
And off Stephen's point, I guess that's something Pep, you know, kind of maybe might not need to say, but the players will maybe be going, look, if we really are the team we think we are with 10 men, can we do this?
Yeah, that is no doubt they're saying that. I think Pep's had to go in there and calm them down, rather than anything else. I think they're all G'd up regards to the last 5 minutes with Zaha, but also the game, the state of the game. It's 1-0 down. They'll all be G'd up in terms of what we need to do, and Pep will just be like, calm down, do this. Yeah. This is how you're going to score.
We're rarely behind, are we, as a team? That's the thing, is when as a fan, as we're lucky, we're usually winning games, and it's kind of hard to accept all of a sudden being, you know, in a position of adversity. So it's going to be a really interesting, like, not test of character, they don't need that, but it's going to be very interesting to see how they react to this, because it could be good, man. It could be good.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, let's take a look then at today's Cryptic City. We've got some clues, and we're trying to work out what player this is. You can send in your guesses to Man City. Maybe if you missed us at the beginning of the show, Jolien, keep that microphone away from your mouth. Here the clues are within. There's a Leon in there we got in the middle. Who was the end clue again? Jason Donovan. Yeah. That legend.
Where's that coming with your name then?
Wow.
What are you doing, Stephen?
What are you
now?
doing?
You just get.
I meant you, Kel.
I tell you,
Spoiler
you
alert.
cannot get it.
Spoiler
Tell you
alert.
what, you can't get the guests this week.
Mistakes
can you?
everywhere, Danish ground.
There's mistakes on the pitch. There's mistakes in the studio. It's all going.
There's late parties arriving.
It's all going Pete Tong here, isn't it? Well, one thing that we can't mess up is actually some of the Halloween theme inspired names, and we had like Jack Grealish, didn't we? And I was asking you to send in yours. You've not disappointed. I'll deliver them. Here we go. Dedison. Put him.
You should be reading out the names you sent these in. So I might at somebody when we get after this game.
It's the name. Maybe purposely not. They've left it anonymous. Mika Richards. Brilliant.
What?
This is where my presenting career goes down the drain. Lost his Edison. That's quite appropriate.
Yeah,
Because he literally did lose his
that
head.
was a prediction.
Yeah, that was the Halloween theme.
That came in before. And then I don't know. This is we're stretching. Sergio Daguerro. No, okay. Come on, you can do better.
Is that
you
Daryl?
can do better.
Send you them.
Yeah,
All Daryl's.
leave me all out here. Can't get the staff, can't get the players on the pitch to do what we need to, can't get the guests in the studio. We'll turn it around these next 45 minutes, and I'll tell you what else we'll do. Let's talk about a big day for our women's team tomorrow. Semi-final against Chelsea in the FA Cup. Big game, Jolene.
Massive game. Hopefully they can get it done. Again, different season for them this year, experiencing not as consistent form as they have in the last previous season. So tough test. Chelsea, good team. So hopefully they can get it done.
Yeah, lovely. Well, you guys, we are doing for under 16s. You can get a ticket for £1. There's also going to be loads of activities going on around the ground tomorrow. So I think if we're all around, get out in full force. I think we can also hear Caroline Weir. She's we are going to save Caroline Weir till after full time. That's the reason to come back. But here is a little teaser for what to expect and what we're going to be hoping for tomorrow. So the teams, as you can see behind me, they are out on the pitch. Well, not the team. Manchester City first out on the pitch ready. I think that kind of says everything we need to know. So we're going to hand back over to Alistair Mann and then join myself, Jolene and Stephen at full time to be talking about the next 45 minutes. It's going to be tough, but we have faith and we believe. Come on, City.
Well, welcome back to the Etihad Stadium for the start of what